Oh! Whoo! What's going on? It's your boy Syntell with the Intel, and you already see Rekkai is in the building. What's going on, champion?
Hello, Governor.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Shogun! Man, this has been one of those projects that has been most anticipated for quite some time when it was announced a couple of years ago. Ask your daddy and your granddaddy about Shogun. Man, they'll tell you about it. It's definitely considered a classic. I guess it's an American fiction. I guess what it is. James Clavell. There was a series that came out in the early 80s that was critically acclaimed. It's beloved, kind of disappeared to history, and now we've blown the dust off of this bad boy, and we're bringing it back, and we're bringing it back with an all-star cast. Yo, how are you feeling about Shogun?
Feeling fantastic. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yes, that part. Make sure you stay to the very end because we're going to chop it up, have a bit of a back and forth of a review, let you know the things that we enjoyed and things that we may be scratching our heads about. So, without any further ado, let's get started. FX. I'm seeing that we haven't watched an FX program in a minute. Now, you know, everybody's probably most excited about Hiroyuki Sanada. I think that's his name. We've seen him before in a whole bunch of projects. He's been in a lot, and he's playing a very pivotal role in Shogun.
10 fathoms. White sand in the tallow.
You see what you want to see.
Dang.
Time has come for you to start making plans.
Dang, my man look worse for wear.
You never know when to give up.
We'll reach the Japans.
Japans, listen to yourself. That is the scurvy talking. A crew of over 500. We are now barely a single vessel. At my age, you draw your line.
Dang, that scurvy got him jacked up.
Pilot, there's nothing to fear. It's a blessed release. It's like only a soft wind in your face.
Or stop.
That is the breath of the Almighty. He's calling us. Listen.
God don't play like that.
He's calling us home.
Ain't give you no permission to take out.
It's scurvy when you don't get enough vitamin C, right? That's what it is. You don't get enough citrus in your diet, and then your teeth start falling out. And
yeah, because if you...
Whoa.
Oh.
Huh.
Well, he canceled his own Christmas.
Wow, deleted himself.
Look, that looks like a ghost ship.
Right? Can you imagine seeing that? You're like, what the
I'm like, that's Davy Jones.
Sails all tattered. Damn.
He said, what are they?
Yeah, I mean, if you ain't used to seeing that, that probably feel like an alien coming by. Anjin.
Now, the Portuguese had been doing business with them, like I said, for decades.
Hey!
There he is.
There go Yuki.
Toranaga が誠に来るとは驚き申した。
賢者は己の才を悟る者じゃ。
Hey, look who that is.
乱世の終わりを告げ申した石堂殿。それがしがこの城の人質でないのと同様、落ち葉の方様も。
木山殿、杉山殿、大野殿、この石堂でござる。
Oh, easy there, fella.
万事一と法論に準じておられます。さような根も葉もない疑惑で約束扱いなさるのは。
Boy?
比例石堂殿がいつ比例なことを申された。
He said, sit your fluff ass down.
My man just did a light glance.
我が一族老頭根絶やしにし。お家 断絶のご沙汰を。
Oh Lord. I mean, I know it's a little disrespect.
何卒ご容赦くだされ。
Look, he's like, you done showed our hand.
You know, made me
しかし、
lose face.
貴殿の家臣のかような子供じみた乱行を捨ておいて。
See, now that's an insult.
They don't know who we are because the rutters are still locked in the Captain General's quarters. And as long as they stay that way, we are safe.
What's locked in
The rudders. The rudders are like the directions on how to navigate the oceans.
12. Shit-smelling, but generally able-bodied Protestant scoundrels on a mission against a savage horde.
the fact that they come to Japan and call them the savage hordes. These people have more elegance and grace than they could ever have.
Oh.
藤殿
There she is.
There she go.
Hello there. You the leader of these men? My name is John Blackthorne, and I would very much like to speak to you.
You need him alive!
You fucking savages! Now I will come up alone and speak for my men.
You keep hold of him, in case I don't come back.
It's funny how each think the other one's the savage.
Tell this poxy little bastard I piss on his whole damn country!
Filthy savage.
Yeah. Your arrogance, boy.
心得ましたが
Like, what? I don't care where you from. You here now. All that.
なぜこの方は囚人として捕らえられているのか。いい加減にせんか。下がれ。王様、どうかお下に話して。
Oh! Who? He told you to stay back.
Who are you?
A servant of God.
Your god.
Music.
I am not one of them! And I will not be spoken for by Catholics! Not in Europe and certainly not in this dark land!
こやつをいずこかの屋敷で風呂に入れよ。殿、危険。海賊は死なねばなりません。
He's like, shut up.
Well, I'm sorry, Father. We'll be all over this continent soon. Go back in your sty, pick up your axe.
Two warring factions. One just discovered the other one existed. It's about to get hot.
よ様手習いに遅れてしまいまするぞ心得ておられると存じますが
ご機嫌うるわしゅう大王院様弥一郎は弓の稽古がしたいのじゃ
That's going to be the future Shogun.
かねてより申し上げております通り、拙者は将軍の地位など望んでおりません。そのような身分、血生臭い昔の残傷に過ぎません。
Love the sets so far. Costumes, sets, they've all been really good. Not overly stylized, just nice.
Please! We just my sense! Please!
Oh.
For the love of God! Please, no!
They got my man hogtied.
No!
Oh.
They're gonna boil him?
Man. Damn.
どうやっても免れないありさまになったとき、人がその成り行きとどう対峙するかということに。
これが
That's some sick shit.
It's some twisted shit, man. Oh, golly.
でもか狂気の沙汰だとわしは申し上げたのに赴かれたのじゃ。死人に先々の話をしてなんてそれは。
Dang. That's a wild quote. Why tell a dead man the future?
お前はどう思う？ 先の読めぬこの時世に次は何が起きる？
So he's already plotting on his lord's spot, but he already knew.
武装船を持つ大名はいずれからも引く手はまたとなります。
息子にこれほどの才覚があることは兄上はわしに言わなんだ。
So Yabu's like, yo, I got a ship full of all kinds of goodies. I ain't letting this go.
That's some more then, right? Oh no, that's old dude.
Yeah, that's Toranaga's homeboy. Toranaga's homeboy. Yeah.
And he sailed right next to the ship. You ain't reported this, my guy?
Hiramatsu!
南蛮船とその船乗りらを拿捕したとの知らせを受け、ここにいることこそを変えようと思うた次第。大筒はどこじゃ？
He's like, I know what's on that ship.
その方は我が殿に忠義を尽くすものとばかり思い込んでおったゆえ。
Oh, put his hand on the tool. He's like, what? You saying it's yours? What?
めっそうもないことでございます。
He's like, nah, man, my bad. That's you. I was just holding it for you. It's like it's both ours.
Look at him backpedaling.
Yo, he demoed him, dog. He said, I'm gonna tuck mine in. He was like, nah, it's my chain.
He pulled his whole card immediately.
You go, Osaka. I go nowhere until I see my men.
He said, boy, you make no commands.
The pilot, Anjin ka. Hiramatsu-sama. Rodrigo-sama, koitsu no mendo miru ne.
Oh, he's a Portuguese.
Uh-huh.
Go yosha kodasare. Go yosha kodasare. To all the shitty things, huh? A young little shit, aren't you? What's the latitude of Alicia? 49 degrees. 56 minutes north, and watch out for the reefs. South-southwest. Oh, they'll send you teach up. My God, you are a pilot. Well, then good news. Only one of your crew is dead, and the Jappers say they'll free the rest of them if it's very nice. Who of my men's dead? Oh, yeah. Here it is, English. Your crew belongs to them now. Maybe you'll see them if you get back.
Maybe.
It's out of your hands. Ose, Hayaku!
I've seen that dude on something else.
Rodriguez? Yeah, I can't think of where I've seen him before either.
What does he want with me? Play with your balls, maybe. How should I know? But he's a powerful sword, so I might let him. More powerful than those men. Lord of the Canto? 1,000,000 of them fanatics would die for the honor of wiping his ass. I didn't catch your name, friend. Rodriguez.
Rodriguez!
Portuguese, I'm not your friend.
I am not your friend.
Any chance of me boarding my ship, Rodriguez? Yeah, just as soon as you lick my jib. Yes, now what tricks? I told these Samas that I'd be responsible for you, so do us both a favor, blow her a kiss.
So, like, you were right. Rodriguez is Portuguese, but he's a pilot. Just like Blackthorn, Anjin is a pilot. So just because you're rival factions, you share the fact that you're pilots. It's one of those things. It's like, we may not be on the same team, but I respect you.
It's like an attitude out here. It's karma. Fixed destiny. Everything is connected. Part of a whole. Life, death. You just have to accept your weak place.
In other words, it is what it is.
Or maybe they just don't give a shit. What do you think? Young, scheming little pirate. Why do you believe I'm a pirate? You had 20 guns on that ship. To defend ourselves from unlawful Portuguese galleons piloted by Spanish dogs. We drifted here by accident. We're just merchants hoping to once again...
He's just holding with that story, huh?
We've got to turn ourselves into the swirl! Where are your cojones, eh? Where they should be, by God, and where I'd like them to stay!
Yeah, that's just nuts.
Go below! Get them to roll! Can you swim? Don't you? Never learn! Better to drown quickly, right?
He's like, hell no, I don't want to learn how to swim. I want to drown, man. I ain't trying to survive in this. Oh yeah, that's a wrap. Yeah, you go
Was that
over in them
Rodriguez?
situations, it's a wrap. It's just, yeah. You donezo.
That's Rodriguez.
Rodrigo-sama, your pilot is somewhere. Here.
No.
I don't care what sort of savage, whore, bitch, turd you are. Where I come from, we don't leave a man behind.
Boy.
あの男は優秀なダッシュであるけ。お主が連れて行け。急げ。はっ、来い。
He's like, I was gonna cut your ass into sashimi, nigga.
Hey man, yo, them cats is quick with it. It's no room for error with these cats, man.
Hey,
it's
he
0
told
to
dude to back
1,000.
up, and that dude lost his head.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. it's real quick, man.
mm-hmm.
I'll bring him up. Me. Oh, I see.
What's wrong, child?
They can't let him do anything because the guy that's Toranaga's main guy, the old guy that's down there, he pretty much told them if anything happens to you to him. So that's why the soldiers is like, nah, you can't get hurt.
He did
Sorry
that on
about your
purpose
sack
too.
of shit, Lord.
Because he's the one that killed his friend. He did that on purpose.
Exactly. He ain't just kill his friend. He sat there and basked in his torture.
Boy.
Yeah.
He was only seconds away.
He's about to delete himself.
Boy, they come to decisions real fast.
Quick, man. He's like animated back.
Look at his face. I showed him some respect.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, but like, don't get it twisted, man. I'm here for a reason. And what's crazy is, it's like, even if he would have failed, he's like, yo, I'll just, there's no loss.
It shows he's dead. What better end can a man hope for?
Will I die here?
Likely.
He's like, likely.
One cannot resist the unseen path of nature. And all we can do is accept our small part.
It's bollocks.
He has like a Tom Hardy kind of feel, don't he?
At least of all the Catholic bases that you and your so-called merchant crew were put into the torch. I mean, real savage business, if you ask me.
Savage.
Territory reached the Japans. Open trade in the New World.
So that's his rudders, right? And rudders, like I said, is like his map. It's like the ship's log.
I tell you what, English, we're coming into port soon. Why are you going up there? Come on, tell me what you see.
The savage land.
And tell me, when you set eyes on Osaka, if you really think our world is the hint of civilization. And then ask yourself, what kind of man wields power in a land like this? The one who schemes in the open? Or the one you never see?
All of this just because this man was talking out of place.
There's a saying out here that every man has 3 hearts. One in his mouth for the world to know. You'll understand soon, English. And who knows? Maybe fate brought you here for a reason. Maybe you'll live long enough to find out what it is.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see a cut down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. But if you want to watch the whole thing with us uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Syntell. Become a member of this channel. You'll get access to the full uncut reaction, but you will need your own Netflix, HBO Max, or Disney Plus subscription so you can open up each episode in an adjacent window to our reaction. We'll give you a little time with a small reference video at the bottom of the screen to help you sync up the footage. and it'll be like you're watching it with your favorite pals from the internet. Okay, hey, so that is Shogun Episode 1, one of the more anticipated projects to come out in 2024. A lot of folks were saying that it's going to have elements of maybe Game of Thrones when it comes to some of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Some of the, oh man, I can't even get my words right. Not the conniving with but the positioning, the how to mitigate power going back and forth between rival houses, and it does have bits and pieces of that. Now, I do have to admit, in case the viewers are wondering, I have read a good chunk of the book. I've read part 1 and I'm about halfway through part 2, so some of this stuff is very, very familiar. And Rekkai has not, which is going to add a great perspective as for somebody who's just seeing everything unfold, and then me kind of being on the side to maybe filling some of the gaps. So, with that being said, Rekkai, how are you feeling regarding what we've seen so far?
Well, being that I have spent a good portion of my life as a history teacher, and this is one of those periods of history that I absolutely love. I am extremely enthused about what is coming up. I know that the commercials and the trailers kind of painted this as a not even really The Last Samurai, but if you look at the trailers or the commercials for this, they're full of action, and I never thought that that's what we were going to get. I do remember that this was a series in, I don't know, the late 70s, early 80s or something like that. I'm pretty sure that I've seen it, but I don't remember it at all. I just remember that the English, the guy Blackthorne, that in the original, his part was played by Richard Chamberlain, famous actor. But besides that, I don't remember much. And the thing about this particular period is that, like we saw in the other property we reviewed, Blue-Eyed Samurai, they didn't really let foreigners into Japan until a certain period. And it seemed like they started doing business here with the Portuguese. But the Portuguese had a lock on this, and they didn't tell anybody else in Europe about all the stuff, because, I mean, they had the exclusive. They had all the exclusives. So all the stuff that people wanted to go to Japan, to China, to India for, Portugal had that on lock. And they weren't telling anybody about it. So this English ship finds their way here. And I don't know, because he kept saying something about English and Dutch.
Yes.
So I don't know how that works.
So Blackthorne is Dutch, but he learns navigation and he works for the English. So there's a war going on. So Portugal and Spain are pro-Catholicism, and they are... The Portuguese are the best navigators in the world, and they are pretty much divvying up the world and taking all the spoils. England is warring with Portugal and Spain because it's Protestants versus the Catholics. And right now in the exploration game, England is falling short. But England has allies, and the Dutch are one of the English allies. So Blackthorne isn't English, he's actually Dutch. But because he's had so much experience and has been taught, even I want to say even he's been taught through some of the Portuguese navigation methods, and he's been all around the world. He's like the #1 draft pick for England when it comes to like being a pilot. So he is a part of like the politics as far as, you know, Protestants over Catholics. But for him, it really is about, you know, I'm a pilot first kind of thing. That's why him and his relationship with Rodriguez was kind of interesting and very, very short, might I add. But go ahead, finish your thought.
No, and I mean, yeah, the Portuguese have been holding it down. You know, a lot of people forget the extremely sad story of Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was actually Italian, but he was a failed sailor, a failed pilot himself. And he got the wise idea that he was going to sail east and he was going to find India all by himself. And you're talking about, late 1400s. And he went to Portugal. And their child crown prince, king and queen were the ones who staked him. That's a whole different story. But pretty much since he stumbled upon what he stumbled upon, they've been kind of running stuff all over the sea since then. This I find interesting because I never thought that this was going to be a war tale. I always thought that this was going to be for people who remember really the first big drama of Netflix was House of Cards.
Okay.
Or like the West Wing political drama. I always thought it was going to be that political drama that involved samurais. So far, we're getting that. I love what Rodrigo said to Blackthorn. He said, I want you to go up on the deck, and when you see Osaka, you tell me who is the savages. Go ahead. He said, and you think with all that you see, you tell me what kind of man holds power here. And it's very telling because it's amazing how both of these different sets of people called each other the savages. But it's funny is that the one who came there to conquer, to plunder, to steal is the one calling the other one the savage. It's very interesting. That's the thing about history. History is always his story. To the victor not only goes the spoils, but to the victor goes the narrative.
Yeah, that's very true, and it's also very interesting too that we're getting this perspective from Blackthorn, right? And I think Blackthorn is going to probably be the connecting character for a lot of Western viewers, right? Because we're going to see this world through his eyes. And one of the things I really love is that they didn't do this thing where they morphed the language into English so that everything is comfortable for Western viewers. They kept it Japanese. I was wondering how they were going to handle that because the book is they actually do a lot of that as well. Like there's a lot of Japanese that's actually spoken, and they kind of maintain that. But the real story doesn't have anything really to do with Blackthorn. He's just kind of going to be like our tour guide as we get a chance
our
to
narrator.
Watch. Right, in a sense. The real story was going on with Toranaga and what's going on with the kingdom. We have this young child who is supposed to be the Shogun because the Taiko at the time, it was just another word for the leader of pretty much all of the people, has passed away, and we have these warring factions, these 5 factions, and they're all trying to pretend like they don't want power. They're all kind of like pretending like we're gonna wait and honor what the Taiko is saying and hoist up this child and get him prepared to become the Shogun. But power, no matter where you go, doesn't really work that way, right? So each one is vying for position and trying to set the other one up so that they could put themselves in the position to inevitably kind of like become Shogun. And then we have Toranaga, who's played by Hiroyuki Sanada, excellently done as far as like the way that he looks and the way that he carries himself, who legitimately doesn't want the crown. He's just like, I just want to make sure destruction doesn't happen. And while he's realizing that he's kind of like losing, this is what this episode is about, that he's kind of like maybe like losing position and he's in an impossible position, a wild card just falls out of the sky, and that is Blackthorn, this ship that comes out of nowhere. And he knows that these ships contain things that can help his cause, everything from goods to weapons, especially cannons, and the big one, the big thing that keeps a lot of the Portuguese, the Spanish, the English, and everything else on this conquering thing, guns. It's like the big thing. And he knows that if he can figure out what's on this ship, then what's going on with the politics within the country, he can maybe shift and move things in a way in a favor to help the country as a whole. So that's pretty much what this episode is about. We're trying to figure out what this wild card is going to bring to the impending chaos of the power struggle. And we just kind of get brief introductions to some of the main characters. It's moving very, very quickly. I'm curious to those in the chat who have read the book. What are you thinking? from what you've seen, what do you think regarding the pace, and what do you think about some of these characters? I wanted to ask you, Rekkai, is there any characters outside of Blackthorn that seem interesting to you?
Lady Mariko.
Okay.
As I said before, so little buddy who couldn't keep his mouth shut. And you know, it's one thing, you know, and again, it's interesting that we in the West are going to see ourselves through Blackthorn's character. Dude disrespected his leader, Toranaga. And in making up for that, he offered seppuku. He offered to end his own life through ritual suicide. But not only that, listen, just to make sure you're good, my guy, make sure you're appeased, I kill my son. I take out my whole line. Boy, if you don't shut your face, what is wrong with you? You kill yourself. Don't bring that shit to nobody else. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So, and you know, and the thing is, after it was said, it's got to be carried out. You know, and Toranaga said, you know what I'm saying? Old girl, Fuji, you know, I know that's your daughter or whatever, to his man, you know what I'm saying? Lord Kanto, he said, I know that's your daughter. I'll keep her alive, you know what I'm saying? But little dude running it, he's like, you know what I'm saying? He was foolish. He was reckless. He said, no, he was brave. He felt it. We all felt it in the room. But you don't open your mouth and let them, you know what I'm saying? You keep your cards close to your vest.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Because that whole thing right there, him running his mouth, that was a show of weakness. You know what I'm saying? We know what they about. We know what they're doing. This is a, you know, like we was watching Airbender. This is Pai Show. This is Go. This is an advanced form of chess. Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody can't be the king. Sometimes you got to move like a pawn to move your way around the board and figure out what the game is really about. You shut your face, dummy. And the thing is, when Mariko came in there, she shut the dude up. Like, he was about to jump on her. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's done. I said what I said, and it's done. And she was like, pause yourself. You know, and she talked like he gave her a whole lot of respect, which made me instantly like, who is she? You know what I'm saying? Like, she got a whole lot of respect. And it made you think about, you know, what you know or what you don't know about their civilization. Like, she got a whole lot of respect. And only that, when the Lord Toranaga, he called for her later. And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I've barely spoken to you in, you know, 16, 14 years or whatever. So, but I think we can help each other. Because she already knows that, you know, he knows too how this is going to play out. The thing is that the Taiko was was basically the head guy. The only way I can explain it is like, the mafia consists of 5 families, but then there's the godfather or whatever, who's the head of the 5 families. The Taiko is basically the head of the 5 families. The Shogun is something different. The Shogun is basically, ain't no 5 families. Everybody's under me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Taiko, he just, listen, I'm the head of the 5 families, but there's still 5 families. We gonna work together. Shogun's something different. He's the de facto military leader. I'm bringing everybody together under one flag. Everybody's under me. You don't like it? Too bad. That's something different. And in Lord Toranaga, you know, they were saying, listen, you that guy, you have honor. You actually care about this boy, and you'll watch out for him when it's his time to be in charge. But everybody knows these other people, they plotting. They'll kill you They'll kill that boy for them to take power. You need to be the Shogun. He's like, nah, that's the way they used to do stuff. I'm not about that anymore, And the thing is, he might need to be about that, you know what I'm saying, in order to survive this. Yeah. In this, they told him whether you think he did or not, old girl's mom, the heir's mom went to his castle, to provide him some coverage while he's there. They told him he had a week to get her back. So I don't know how this is going to carry out over the season, but right now it looks like a lot of things may happen in the course of a week.
Yeah. I think you're spot on. How there is some subtle things. You said Mariko, excuse me, was kind of like talking kind of reckless, which is different. There's going to be like some Western sensibilities that's going to be done in the writing from what I can tell. Because culturally speaking, she was out of pocket. And she wouldn't talk to that person like that. But because, we got Hollywood, they're going to Hollywoodify this and make her be able to be like, I can say what I want kind of thing. That's not how it goes down. Not to say that Mariko isn't a powerful person. She is. But due to knowing your place, you dictate that power in a different kind of way. What we got was a Western version of Mariko. And I don't know if I'm feeling that, but I think they're gonna run with that just because it's just the times that we're in. So I can understand the why behind it, but nah, she wouldn't have gone down like that.
And to your point, yes, and that's why they cut the commercial for this the way that they did, because the Western world, we don't understand their culture. We don't understand like that whole we think we understand a sense of honor and integrity and duty, and we don't understand it in the same way.
Nah.
And you got to think about as a country, we still have people fighting over someone kneeling during the national anthem. Which the entire point of being a soldier is to give people in this country the ability to kneel during the national anthem if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And we fight over that.
Yeah.
How does that affect your day? It doesn't. And so the thing is, we are a young country. We haven't even hit, we're not even 300 years old yet. You're talking about countries on the other side of the earth that are thousands of years old and have a long traditions in history. Now, a lot of that changed since the Western world introduced what we introduced to them, but they still have a strong sense of that culture from the past. And there's a lot of things that we do not understand about that.
Yeah.
And so you're absolutely right that because we're playing this out for a Western world, the Western world would have jumped on it and was like, a woman would never do that. They would never, do this or be in that place. Like, she can do whatever she wants to. And that's not how things play out in their culture. And I'm not even saying like today in 2024, but I'm saying especially 1600.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the context.
Oh.
Yeah, the context. And it's not to say that women don't have power, because there are some very powerful women in this book, but the way they wield it, that's the thing that's interesting. What we're seeing with what we've seen with Mariko, in just this one instance, who knows, it could change. That is a Western way of seeing how she would have handled that by being out of pocket like that. So that's the only really weird thing. I was like, I don't know about that,
but Rodrigo was trying to teach that to Blackthorn at the end about the three hearts. He was trying to, and even when she said, if I was just a samurai, yeah, or if I was just a Christian, yes, but I have more than one heart. And Rodrigo was trying to tell him the same thing at the end. Mm-hmm. He said, most Japanese people have three hearts, and and we think about it as, God, country, family, or a service or whatever. Like you have to almost compartmentalize different parts of yourself, and sometimes you have to speak up on this level, but sometimes it's superseded by you need to shut up at this level. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, I feel that. I feel all of that. Yeah, this is actually a good place to kind of like stick a fork in this. And if you've just been enjoying the way like me and Rekkai have been going back and forth, and just I think this is going to be a fun and interesting way for us to kind of like break down what we're watching, taking maybe from a perspective of what's been read, and taking from a perspective of being first time watch, and taking a perspective from a history teacher. So that's 3 different ways that we're going to kind of like tackle Shogun. And if you do enjoy this breakdown, I know you saw the commercial regarding the Patreon. For our future episodes, we will be having a little bit longer takes that you will see, so the videos won't be necessarily this long. We do appreciate you for sticking around this as long as you have with this conversation. So I do challenge all of you to let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, and the fun one is what did we miss? But of course, please keep it in the context of what we've seen so far with our book readers. We do not want to have any spoilers. Hey, if you want to get to know Rekkai a little bit better, Rekkai, go ahead and tell the people how they can get in contact with you.
On all social media at Noop from Daville, NUPEFROMDAVILLE. Same me, different handle.
Yes, thank you. This is great. I'm really excited about this. I think it's off to a decent start. I wasn't like all the way blown away. I didn't have that kind of feeling, but I can see where they're going and with the pace that they're going about with it. So I'm excited to share this with you, Rekkai, and especially with all of the viewers. With that being said, we will catch you on the next episode. All right, y'all. Take care. Peace.